in a conversation started by SteamDB co-founder XPaw. In a recent Steam beta update, codename Neptune and codename SteamPal have leaked in a combination of firmware, update data mined strings, and localization strings related to a developer Callisto program. These leaks line up with a variety of recent patents filed by Valve Software over the last 2 years, some internal leaks that up until now were not taken seriously, and some corroborated evidence from game publication Ars Technica. To summarize, SteamPal and codename Neptune appear to be a handheld, Linux-based SteamOS system that takes advantage of both Proton and the next generation of Steam controller and Steam input to be able to create some kind of entirely Steam-ran Switch-like hardware. Hardware development on this project go back many years, and a Steam handheld actually holds its origins in a canceled prototype of the Steam controller with an included 3-inch screen. The recent rumors, however, show that the Steam handheld codenamed SteamPal will instead be quite wide, with at least a 7-inch onboard display, an AMD system on a chip with everything running in x86 through Steam Proton and Valve's own proprietary Linux build dubbed SteamOS. That, however, is only part of the story. Valve has been hard at work on the follow-up to the Valve Index due to a combination of a lack of internationally available parts to fulfill orders, a significant underestimation on Valve's part for how well the Valve Index would have done on its $1,000 price point, and, well, the global pandemic making it much harder to ship and acquire things internationally. Valve has been discussing domestically rebuilding the Index with new features and parts, and part of what is assumed to be the codename Neptune leaks will likely move into other Valve-made SteamVR hardware. The SteamVR headsets, the new trackers, the new controller, this new handheld system, and a few other unknown pieces of hardware, such as a completely revitalized Steam box, will be the subject of another Steam hardware report. But the current rumor mill continues on, with Ars Technica quote-unquote corroborating some of this information. According to Ars Technica, quote, technically that's true. The SteamPal, whose name we're putting in scarce quotes because we do not have final device name confirmation, is an all-in-one PC with gamepad controls and a touchscreen. In other words, it functions like a Nintendo Switch without the removable Joy-Cons. This is very likely the announcement Valve co-founder Gabe Newell hinted to in a panel conversation at a New Zealand school earlier this month. There, he dodged a question about Valve's plans for the future console video game with an indirect answer. SteamPal will go a similar route as the GPD-1, with a system on a chip likely coming from either Intel or AMD, not Nvidia. It's unclear whether Valve will release multiple SKUs to offer customers a choice in power level like other Switch-like PCs have offered over the years. As far as the form factor is concerned, at least one SteamPal prototype is quite wide compared to a Nintendo Switch, this in order to accommodate a slew of control options. No, Valve is not likely slapping an entire QWERTY keyboard onto the system, but Valve's team has built a standard array of gamepad buttons and triggers and pair of joysticks along with at least one thumb-sized touchpad. The SteamPal will play a combination of SteamPal-compatible games developed by Callisto developers and also take advantage of SteamLink's recent capabilities to broadcast from a gaming PC on any internet connection. According to a Reddit user who will remain unnamed, 14 days ago, quote, Valve is releasing a handheld console in the fourth quarter of 2021, able to play your entire Steam library on it, using an APU from AMD, a 7 to 8 inch touchscreen, codenamed Project Jupiter. $399 is the price they are aiming for. Lastly, Ars Technica seems to think that Gabe's response about Valve entering the console space has to do with this project. It does not. We're going to be covering the entire New Zealand college Q&A very soon. But in the meantime, codename Neptune, codename Jupiter, codename Eris, and codename SteamPal are all coming fairly soon. Valve is about to release an entirely new lineup of hardware, from controllers to trackers to HMDs to handhelds to boxes, and we're going to be covering everything that we can find out very soon. My email is tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com, and if you want to support this channel, check out my limited time missing texture and error model socks on my CrowdMade store. Anyways, I'm Tyler McVicker, signing off. Have a good day. Adios.